There are a couple of interesting comparisons that Chazal make with regard to Noach. The most famous comparison is between Noach and Avraham. When the Torah describes Noach as a tzaddik, a righteous person, Rashi picks up on the seemingly extraneous word that he was righteous b'toratav, in his generation. Rashi offers two possibilities. The first is that Noach was a tzaddik even in his generation, and he was in a generation of better people, he would be even more righteous. A second possibility is that it was only in his generation that he was good, and if he lived in the generation of Avraham, he would not have been considered righteous. The Meshech Chachma points out a different, lesser-known comparison, which is that of Noach and to Moshe. He quotes a midrash that picks up on the polar opposite trajectories of these two people in Tanakh. When describing Noach, the midrash notes that at first he is described in the Torah as an ish tzaddik, a righteous person, and then at the end of his life he debases himself with alcohol. The Torah refers to him as an ish adamah, a man of the earth, which seems to be an unflattering description. Moshe, on the other hand, when he flees Egypt to Midian, is referred to as an ish mitzri, an Egyptian man. At that time, not a flattering description. While at the end of his life, after serving the Jewish people and leading them to Eretz Yisrael, Moshe is called an Ish Elokim, a man of God. The Meshech Chachma, in developing this midrash, suggests that Moshe and Noach are actually symbolic of the two paradigms of and approaches to God and religious growth. One approach to religious growth is to focus on oneself, one's own tefillah, Torah, learning, and mitzvot. A second approach is to focus on serving others in the community. It is certainly conceivable that one who focuses on himself would achieve greater heights and be viewed as more successful in his religious endeavors, even if it would be at the cost of engaging with the community. In contrast, it may be more important for a person to focus on community, building, and helping others, even though it may be at the cost of one's own religious pursuits. To that point, the Meshech Chachma quotes a midrash from Kohelet Rabbah that discusses Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi, who served his community and ended up forgetting 80 halachot. Not as a punishment, but when efforts are put forward in one area, it comes out at an inevitable cost. These two opposing religious values find expression in the models of Noach and Moshe. Noach is a classic example of an introvert who focuses on himself and his own righteousness. He does not influence and save those around him. While you would think that we would see Noach's positive spiritual evolution, it seems that the opposite occurs and his religious life declines. Remember, he is described toward the end of his life as an ish adamah. Moshe, on the other hand, is a classical example of a communal servant. He works on behalf of the people day and night, seemingly at the expense of his own religious life. Yet when describing his religious growth, he evolves from Ish Mitzri to the end of his life as an Ish Elokim. It is clear to me, as I become a bar mitzvah, that personal religious growth and commitment to mitzvot are critical to my development as a member of Am Yisrael. But it is also clear to me that for that, the commitment to find a full, healthy expression, it needs to be done alongside a strong commitment to community and service with the value of helping others at the forefront of my mind. Good Shabbos.